In this video, you'll get 10 minutes to yourself. Listen to a short story about the great country style of Farmer Joe while driving down a country road. And then part 1 of how great clothing style could be making you. Hi, this is your country uncle, Uncle John, telling stories of family farmers and showing you the wisdom of wool. Then in the last few minutes, we'll be listening to Sarah Ryan talking about the styles of clothing. That'll be part 1 of 2 parts. But first, relax and listen to a story about Farmer Joe. Chapter 2.3 The Heart of the Farming Labour. Joe had always known the weight of the soil beneath his boots. From the earliest days of childhood, when his hands were small and the fields seemed endless, the family farm was more than just land, it was legacy. His grandfather's story spun tales of struggle and prosperity, of droughts and harvests, of hope stretched across generations like the first ray of sunlight rising over the barn roof. Joe's father, a steady man with lines etched deep from seasons of wind and worry, taught him that the true measure of a farmer was not how much land he tilled, but the devotion he poured into every furrow. The farm was where the self-employment meant not just working for oneself, but building a future for those yet to come. It was a crucible for progress, a place where dedication, passion, and relentless hard work led to the development not just of crops and livestock, but of the family livelihood itself. Spring unfurled across the valley, painted the fields in shades of promise. Joe and his family, his partner Alex, 2 children Emma and Ben, and his elderly parents moved as a coordinated team among the barns and the pastures. His family labour were not merely practical, it was beating heart of the farm. Each morning began before the sun with the rhythmic calling of the rooster and the low, gentle sound of cows stirring for milking. Emma, only 12 but fiercely responsible, cradled a newborn calf in her arms, whispering comfort as her father showed her how to check for signs of health. Ben, a whirlwind of curious energy, raced along the fence line, counting chickens with the gravity of a young accountant. Alex, ever the organiser, juggled feeding schedules and financial records with a deft touch, ensuring the farm's operation ran smoothly. Their investment in the land was not just financial. While those vast enterprises chased quarterly profits, Joe's family measured time by seasons, not spreadsheets. Their eyes were always on the future, when a field would need to rest, how to care for the soil, how to ensure the barn roof would hold for another winter. Their commitment to sustainability was visible in every choice they made. Animal welfare was paramount. Unlike commercial farms where hired hands might change with the calendar, Joe's family knew each animal by name. Old Bessie, the dairy cow, was more than a source of milk. She was a friend. Emma could detect the flicker of discomfort in Bessie's eyes before anyone else, a testament to the close bond between farmer and animal. Their routines were predictable and gentle. Joe's family believed that consistency reduced stress in livestock, so every feeding, every milking, and every cleaning followed the same pattern. Ben loved to help with the lambs, providing tender care and gentle handling, ensuring that each animal was not just a product but a life nurtured and respected. When neighbours came to visit, they marvelled at the calm in Joe's barns. There was no frantic rush, no loud machinery drowning out the soft sounds of contentment. Instead, there was harmony, the product of prioritising care over output, of aligning farming practices with ethical standards that emphasise welfare, not exploitation. Labour was one of the highest expenses for local farms. Joe knew this well, and he watched friends struggle to pay seasonal workers, their margins shrinking year after year. But on Joe's farm, the reliance on family work eased this burden. Every daily chore, from feeding and cleaning, was handled by someone with a vested interest in the land and its inhabitants. During peak times, such as planting or harvest, the family pulled together, working late into the evening. Their flexibility schedule allowed them to adapt to the unpredictable rhythms of the farm, responding swiftly to emergencies or weather changes. There was no need for external labour. Their dedication and consistency not only cut costs but also ensured work was done with the greatest care, always benefiting the animals. Joe's family became experts at balancing work and rest, learning when to push and when to let the land breathe. The result was sustainable operation, where efficiency never came at the expense of compassion. Modern consumers, ever wary of anonymity of industrial farming, were drawn to Joe's family's farm for the authenticity. When customers visited the farm stand, they met not anonymous staff but the very people who grew their food. Joe explained how each cow was raised. Emma offered samples of fresh eggs, and Alex described the organic methods used in the vegetable garden. Shoppers left with more than food, they left with a story. They knew their purchase helped a local family, supported ethical practices, and contributed to the community. The transparency was unmistakable. When Joe's family said their animals were well cared for, it was evidenced by every feather, hoof, and leaf. This connection built trust and loyalty. Customers returned, bringing friends and family, eager to be part of something genuine. Joe's farm became a pillar of the local economy, its reputation founded on honesty and care. Knowledge on Joe's farm was not simply technical, it was cultural. Many of the practices Joe relied on had been passed down for generations, refined and adapted with each season. His father taught him traditional caring and feeding methods focused on animal well-being, while his mother imparted sustainable land management and techniques learned in her youth. Joe's farm was not an island. The family were deeply connected to the rural community, participating in local markets, supporting neighbours, and engaging in festivals that celebrated the region's agricultural heritage. These connections strengthened not just the farm's business, but also the sense of purpose. Joe's children played with other farm kids, sharing stories and skills across fence lines. The adults gathered to discuss challenges and solutions, offering support in hard times and sharing laughter and good. The farm became a haven, a place where consumers trusted in ethical products, grew alongside beans and barley. One summer, the skies darkened over Joe's Valley. A powerful storm rolled in, bringing torrential rain and swirling winds. Joe watched as the creek rose, threatening to flood the lower pastures. In the barns, the animals grew restless, sensing the shift in weather. Joe sprang into action, rallying his family. Ben and Emma secured the small animals, guiding them to the safety of the upper barn. Alex checked the generator, making sure power would hold if the grid went down. Joe's parents gathered supplies, their experience invaluable in this chaos. The storm raged through the night, battering windows and flattening rows of corn. Joe fought exhaustion, wading through knee-deep water to reinforce the fence. Emma tended to the frightened calf, her voice a soothing anchor. Ben helped dig trenches to divert the runoff, his hands blistered but determined. As the storm peaked, a tree crashed down, blocking the path to the barn. Joe grabbed an axe, hacking through the branches as rain lashed his face. Every swing was an act of desperation, a refusal to let the farm, his family legacy, fall to ruin. Finally, as dawn broke, the storm also broke. The family surveyed the damage. Flooded fields, a broken fence, a collapsed chicken coop. But the animals were safe, the barn intact, and most importantly, the family unbroken. In the days that followed, Joe's family worked together to repair what had been lost. Neighbours arrived with lumber and tools, offering help in rebuilding. The community rallied, proving that the bonds forged through years of support were stronger than any storm. Joe reflected on what had been kept the farm afloat. It wasn't money or machinery or luck. It was a family unity, their commitment to each other and to the land. Their tradition of family labour, passed down and cherished, had provided the resilience needed to weather adversity. As the fields dried and the crops began to recover, customers returned, eager to support the farm they had come to trust. Joe shared the story of Storm, humble, grateful to the loyalty and encouragement. Emma and Bren, proud of their efforts, understood more deeply than ever the importance of caring, not just for animals and crops, but for each other. As the season turned, Joe's family farm flourished once more. The lesson of the storm lingered, shaping future choices and strengthening their resolve. The farm remained a place of progress, self-employment and heritage, a testament to the power of family labour. Joe knew that the use of family labour was the greatest determinant in defining a family farm. When the farm depended on the hands and the hearts of its family members, it remained a notional family farm. If ever that requirement faded, the spirit of the farm would be lost. But for Joe and his family, the legacy will continue. Through their time, passion and heritage invested in every task, they ensured that the farm would remain sustainable and ethically responsible. It's a story, tapestry woven from generations of dedication, would be told for years to come, inspiring others to build their own lives upon the firm foundation of family. And so at dusk settled over the valley and the fields glow golden in the fading light, Joe stood at the gate, his family at his side. The farm was not just a place, it was a living story, written in sweat and laughter, sorrow and triumph, a place where the land and its people grew stronger.
Garment, stay tuned for today's video. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and I am the Style Coach. If you're new here, you're very welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hello to you too. It's lovely to see you again. My channel is all about personal style and personal development, so if that is your thing, please do make sure to join the community here. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, please make sure to hit the like button and why not subscribe to the channel as well. If you'd like more styling and well-being tips, you can join me over on Instagram at thestylecoach.ie, and you can find out more about my online course on my website, thestylecoach.ie. I've got 12 tips for you today that you can look out for if you want to buy quality garments. So if you're not sure what you're looking for, or if something is at a higher price point and you're thinking, well, is it really worth it? There are things that you can do to eliminate the chances of you buying a high-priced item but with poor quality. So without further ado, let's get started. If a fabric is very sheer and you can see through it, it means that it could be a good quality thread. However, if a fabric is very sheer, it's more prone to being torn, to snagging on things, and so it's not going to last you perhaps as long as something with a tighter weave and something that's less sheer. So you can still have a high-priced sheer item, but keep in mind that it may not last you very long. It can also be very hard to repair sheer items, so that is something to think about as well. If your jeans are uncomfortable when you first try them on, that's a good thing. And that seems counterintuitive, I know. But if you wear jeans that are slightly stiff and uncomfortable, it means that they haven't been exposed to harsh chemicals to give them that softness that you may find in other jeans in other shops. When jeans are exposed to these harsh chemicals that make them soft, it means they're less durable and more prone to wear and tear. So when you do buy your jeans and you go for something like 100% cotton, particularly ones that haven't been bleached into a much lighter colour denim, then these are actually going to be very hard wearing and last you longer. They will soften over time, they will soften as you wash them, but you really don't want to be buying jeans that are soft straight off the rack. When you're in the shop, have a look at the seams of the garment. If it's a blouse, just turn it over, look at the seams and give them a little pull apart. If the seams are holding well together, then that's good. It means they have a number of stitches that are closely stitched together, and that's a sign of better quality. If the seams are coming apart and you can see that there's quite big gaps between the seams, then you will probably want to leave that back. It means they've done this quickly, they've done it cheaply, and it's not going to last you so long. If you're buying a shirt or a blouse, check on the back of the garment for a yoke, a back yoke. A back yoke is an extra panel across the shoulders. This has been added to prevent extra wear and tear in that area, and also for a little bit of design purpose and for better structure within the garment as well. So if that's missing within your shirt or blouse, it's just another step that's been skipped. So it is a sign that the quality is not what it could be. In a good quality patterned garment, you want to make sure that the pattern is aligned at the seams. This shows that a lot of care and attention has been paid to this part of the garment, and the attention to detail is there. So this is an indication that time has been taken, care has been put into this garment, and that reflects probably in the price of the item. So you can be sure that if they've taken the time to do this, they've probably taken the time to create a beautiful garment. Be sure to take a look at how the hems have been finished. So if it's on a dress or a pair of trousers, just take a look at the underside of the hem and make sure that it has been turned in and turned in again and properly stitched. So if it's just a raw hem, obviously there's not much effort put into this at all. If it's just one row of stitches that has been turned up once it's cut, very little effort put in here as well. You really want to make sure that your garment has been finished to a high standard, especially if the price...
A big thank you to Sarah Ryan to explaining 6 parts of stylish clothing. In part 1, part 2 will be coming next week. And remember, life's short, find your joy, and always remember it, so you always enjoy.